All right, this is from page, this is for the 6.6 homework. This is going to be page 340. You're supposed to do number 41 through 47 odd. I'm probably going to do number 41 and then I'll do maybe 47. All right, so we're supposed to use the graph. It says no calculator on the instructions. Use the graph. Let me write 41 in case you don't have the book. Use the graph to figure out when this is true, when tan x equals 1. So we got to figure out what's the input to give us an output of 1. So if I graph this, let's say this is pi halves, this is pi, this is 3 pi halves, and of course 2 pi, and then go the opposite direction, negative pi halves, negative pi, negative 3 pi halves, and then negative 2 pi. So if you kind of think about this, tangent is going to have an asymptote at every pi half, every odd pi half, if you remember. Okay, so we have those asymptotes, and then we know around those asymptotes, it'll be negative 1, 0, 1. So there is one of them. So negative 1 will be over here. Let's ignore that arrow. So negative 1, 0, 1. In here, negative 1, 0, 1. Okay, negative 1, 0, 1. And negative 1, 0. Okay, so we're only allowed to look from 2 pi, negative 2 pi to 2 pi. So when are we going to see 1? We're going to see it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So let's find those points. What is halfway between 0 and pi halves? Because we know that it's halfway. We know that that will be pi fourths. Okay? So at negative pi fourths, it's at negative 1, so that's not good. At negative 1/2, there's an asymptote, and so we got to find in between 1/2 and negative pi. So we know it's at pi fourths. We know it's at negative 3 pi fourths, because when it's 1, it's right in between 1/2 and 1, right? Okay. Now this other one over here is in between 1.5 and negative 2. Well, negative 1.5. So let's kind of think about that. If this is 1/2, well, negative 1/2, and then this is so 1/2. Let's count it in fourths. Sorry. So that'll be 2 fourths, 3 fourths, 4 fourths, right? 5 fourths, 6 fourths, 7 pi fourths. So negative 7 pi fourths. So why did I count in fourths? Well, notice that each point, right? So we have asymptote, negative 1, 0, 1. They happen a fourth of a pi apart, right? Okay, so we already have our negative 3 pi fourths. When that happened, the output was 1, and then we have negative 7 pi fourths right there. Okay, there's our pi fourths, and so now we got to figure out what this one is. So it's in between 1 and 3.5, right? So if we count it in fourths again, we have pi fourths, 2 fourths, 2 pi fourths, 3 pi fourths, 4 pi fourths. It'll be at 5 pi fourths. So that's how you do those ones.